Good morning, everyone. I just woke up like not long ago. uh, have some news for Lost Soul Aside, but I'll wait for some people to get in here. Let's wait a bit. I'm gonna play on my Jill alt today. Hi, Valkyrie! We missed you in the last few streams. I mean, I know you were in yesterday's, but the ones before that. No, it's okay. It's fine. I was just wondering, like, where's Valkyrie? Usually she's the first one in. Oh, yeah. Enter Snowcloak with NPCs. Today we're playing on Jill. I know, she is so pretty. Love Jilly. We love our Jilly Bean. We really do. Yes, she is. Oh, there we go. Nope, don't want whatever in there. Whoa! No, don't want to stand in that. it, I'm getting hit. I don't know why, but I think the Yetis are cute in this game. I mean, look at him. He's adorable. Oh, my Final Fantasy 16 logo sticker comes in today. And here comes the big guy. Whoa! Ah, shit! I didn't get away. Ah! Sorry about that. Finally. Okay, I need to talk to someone. Where the hell are they? Oh, I did the wrong one. I gotta fight Shiva. Oh, I am really happy that Lost Soul Aside has physical copies that are going to be sold starting tomorrow for pre-orders. So I'm gonna definitely pre-order a physical copy, and hoping that the digital deluxe edition items are going to be sold in a separate listing on the PSN store. Because if we go for physical copies, we have to get those separate. But for pre-orders, we'll still get the pre-order bonuses. I mean, that always happens when you, I hope anyway, for physical copies. If not, I'm gonna go digital for the pre-order bonuses, and I will still get the physical copy as well. See, because that's what I'm worried about. That physical people who get the physical copies, will they get the pre-order bonuses when they do? Because I usually don't. Well, because I usually don't order physical copies sometimes or pre-order them, and that's where I'm worried. The first Berserker Kazan are selling physical copies. Ooh. Pre-order price guaranteed. Of course. Because usually when Amazon does that for the pre-order price guarantee, you will get it less than what you would normally pay for a pre-ordered physical copy. I've seen some like that before on here. Okay, I know I unmuted. You guys hear me? Oh, finally! Valkyrie? You there? Hello? It's like you just disappeared all of a sudden. I'm talking to myself here. Whoops.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace.
Ysel!
A peace.
I miss her so much. Although I don't like the 14 version of Shiva.
No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then
Shiva's
it
had
is
better
mine
designs
to strike
in
you
the
down.
past and future.
We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
I think what throws me off with her is the crown. Who's she gonna step on? Okay.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Moen Brita! By the 12 you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. You sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough. I was only asking. The road less traveled. If you ask me, there is naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you had best pay a visit to White Brim Front and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. She's like a worried mother. She's like she's like, yes, Mom. Okay. See you again soon. here in a bit. I'm just cooking dinner. Okay, well, take your time. Sir Emmerich! There she is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the warrior of light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you will be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning, but not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Jill to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. There is a matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillamont is the caravan ready. The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortomp caravan. Less the crystals which compromised the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Jill, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Why does that sound like something Clive would do? Even though it wasn't Clive, it was Archifont. But yeah, I can see that. It's something Clive would do. And then he'd have to be restrained by everybody at the hideaway. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Hey. No, I don't want to do the fate. Get out of here. What were you thinking, Jill? wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway. And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, he needs to calm down. By the fury, Jill, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I have been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was, forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits you in the intercessory. Greetings, madam. I shall show you in at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks.
Why is he so hot?
Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nottalar.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We, too, have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgardsormr could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
He's so
As we are
mad.
to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucy, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you.
I honestly have to say this. I think those two have a thing for each other. I really do.
Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
I mean, that's just how I see it anyway.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Alright, I'll be right back real quick. I'm gonna make something to eat, because I haven't eaten breakfast yet, but I might as well just make something now. So, BRB. Alright, I'm back. Eyes unclouded. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Isar's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent and necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Need to drink some water. There. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Guardian Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Jill. It is better that we continue this conversation in Mardona. Oh, wait. Check one thing. Check my retainer. I only have one for Jill right now. I didn't get the other ones yet because I'm not sure what I should name them and what races they should be for Jill. I mean, I have Clive. Let's do... I need to get more of that first before I send him on any explorations. Hi Yoshi B, bye Yoshi B.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. I Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louis Soir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogulmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
Now it makes me wonder if, because Iceheart could do that, it makes me wonder if that's where they got the idea for dominance in Final Fantasy 16. Wielding the power of the icons is similar to what Iceheart did with Shiva. Now I'm really thinking that's where they got the idea from.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not, but full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For on Mercy we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Let me discover the annals of knowledge for Midgard-Zoma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. You hear that? The commotion outside? Which is he of eyes in this? Jill, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Royal has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial. but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain, along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report that Royale quitting the city via the Gate of Nald, with a bloodied spear in her hand. If she makes for Castrum Meridionum, bleh, I am certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse was she to but flee to her imperial masters? Even as you speak, Captain Ilberd and the First are hot upon Royale's heels. Pray, make haste to Camp Blue Frog and join the hunt. Thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Royale walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. That's morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her. And so, here we are. So, now I'm here for real. Welcome back. Royale must not be allowed to reach Castrum Meridionum. No, she shouldn't. Let's go, Torgal. We got a bitch to catch. Hot dumpling soup, that's something that is unfortunately not eaten fast. Yeah. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down. Not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own. The goddamn harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Alright, who's healing? Where's the healer? Someone's fucking healing. I can't find them. Where the hell are they? You bastard! There we go. Surrender, bitch. Find her and do it tight. You think? Yes, sir. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. Ouch! I don't think Alphino is spoiled, not to the highest degree, but he doesn't know what it's like to be lowborn. But he does learn along the way, and I love his character arc. He learns along the way, and he grows up. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we lowborn Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. She's not wrong. I will give her that. I did what I had to do to survive. Stealing, killing, even whoring myself. How far in are we with Jill? Still getting closer to Heaven's Ward, because the Crystal Braves, as you see the ones in blue, have already been established by Alphino. That's where we are. And I just beat Iceheart in the Shiva hard. So we're getting pretty far. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. So, very endy, sort of a Realm Reborn. Yes, we're in post-AR, a Realm Reborn. Yeah, so we're pretty much like right there. In case you have forgotten, Raban himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot on life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. Yep. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against my friend. Okay, he totally is contradicting himself here. He said he would never raise a hand against his friend, yet he does it to Raban. Fucking asshole. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. Ilberd, you are no better than she is. Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. Our friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Raban chose his. Alpha, no! That was just, wow. That was harsh. Raban didn't know that she would have betrayed her comrades.
I heard. Truly bothersome business.
Oh my god, not to Leggy out of Leggy.
No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Raban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
I hate this little shit. He gets what's coming to him.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Unamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Oh, you are gonna get yours, you little fucker. Let us claim together. Alphino would ask another favor of you, of course. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one task left, one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stone and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the held Royal in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. The innards of my hot pocket are coming out.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
I've been saying her name wrong. Oh well.
Together with Robon, Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white aurosite, the miraculous material that will allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to aurosite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Hebrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
They switched VAs after Realm Reborn, right? Yes, they did.
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white aurosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the
So I remember
whenever
darkly
and wherever we choose.
that I think Gideon Emery still voiced Orianda here. I think he voiced him throughout all of the expansions. I'm not sure. I know Alphinaud's voice actor was changed later on. Okay.
It would seem more research is in order.
Because Colin voices Alphinaud later. He's not voicing him right now in A Realm Reborn. Or post A Realm Reborn.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aura site. And I could do with some help. Orianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required of the waking sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically a
Whoop. Okay. So they did change the... I couldn't really tell because they kind of sound similar.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Vow. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
I think most VAs try to kind of find a common ground, then to make the change not as so painful. True.
Aye. Yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the Primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Vorissos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
7 hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Till you have purged this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Oh, he pissed. I like Raban.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees.
Of course he
The
has.
monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Good intentions. I am most eager to address the Asian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wondered if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Jill in particular is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monitoress ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have any objections. None whatsoever. We have matters here well at hand. Moen Brida's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Orianja is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Jill, while we focus on that task, maybe you could assist Alphino and his Braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riol's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled in gathering information others wish kept secret. Hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dah riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there is any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Pleasure is always, Jill. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report to her benefit. Oh, for her benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. Hold on a minute. Okay. I needed my TV remote because something popped up on my screen. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Jill, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind. But if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods. Savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Jill? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge, and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Jill, my scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a woman of your standing, and Commander Livier needn't have dispatched you hither. Excuse me, what? You underestimate Jill. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without a hesitation. Bite him, Torgal. Exactly. In his nuts. You think? Sexist much? Wow. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. Hey, that's where we found Clive. In the crossover. It was by the burning wall. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Joel? That's where we found Clive. Oh, take your time, Nighty. Yay! We're going back to where we found Clive. And where we had to say goodbye to him too. So it was both you know, good and bad at that location. I wonder. Ah, I went the wrong way. Wonder if I remember the location where we found Clive. Because I know he was next to some of these formations. I'm trying to remember where we exactly... I think it was right here, actually, where we found him. Because he was down there. Hold on, Clive, we're coming! Yeah, you think? Yeah, because if I do remember correctly, he was somewhere around here. I spied the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. Bye! The dying noises are funny as hell. Welcome back. I don't understand. What's this all about? As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. Why do I not believe him? Yeah, exactly, he did it. Damn it all, golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of dusk-white sellswords. We suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Breastblades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, exactly. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking. For the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. I will join the first in their hunt for the Dusk-White sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah in my stead, and trust them to the third's Yu-Yu-Hase. He will take care of the rest. I don't trust that little shit Lalafell as far as I can throw him. Or kick him. Not to take me to Gridania. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Corythus. Now, what brings you to us this day? A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Elbert, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riol stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly, Riol is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the Fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Aliane, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution until we meet again. Jill, a word, if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time. Don't you worry. Thanks for indulging my request. Few places better than a market for privacy. I find all the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskboys they were chasing. The latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started. And not after. Something ain't right. I know. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boast. Our information was reliable. God damn it. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking Gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate your lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Jill, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Whoop. Thank you for coming so quickly, Jill. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most determined lady by all indications. Our guest is with the antecedent in the solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we?
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
Me, I should have screenshot I can use as a background. Also me, you have everything but that kind of screenshot.
I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silver-Tier Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old curtain rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrios, proud flagship of the Gallian fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
And I still can't unsee Midgard Sormer dancing the Toothless Dance.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard Zorma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
There's a fan art of him actually stretching like a cat.
Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken.
That someone did of the minion version of him.
It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs.
He's laying on his side,
we
stretching like a
with
kitty.
Any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Sorma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept? We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must
God, I
return
might
and
have
assist the
to
Lord
search
Commander.
that. I
We have
mean,
precious
he can't
little
be
time to
ruined
prepare.
more at this point.
To
Hold
prepare
on.
for what, pray tell?
I retweeted it. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's not that far off. Let me check.
Great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
I hope I win that Sid plushie. The giveaway ends tomorrow. I was gonna skip all this. times. I've seen and done this so many times. Skip. Who cares? I mean, when you played A Realm Reborn more than one time, yeah, you know what goes on, you know what happens. Skipping it is okay if you're doing it on an alt. I don't know where Midgardstormer went in terms of where the hell did I retweet it? Did I just like it? Oh boy. I mean, I usually check messages and yeah. I mean, honestly, in Final Fantasy 16, I wish they gave us an option to go and look at and watch the cutscenes again, instead of having to go through the whole game over again. I would love that. Like you can do in Final Fantasy 14. You can go to any inn, or you can place it in your room or house. You know what I find kind of funny? That you can't skip Barnabas's monologue at the Narrow. I wouldn't want to skip it anyway. Because I actually like what he says. I would like to skip it when I try to reach the Shadow Coast for reasons. Oh yeah. That's why I wish we had an option to play back the cutscenes. And if we need them for something, then that would have been so much better. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake, though I cannot say for certain at this distance. I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then, the Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from what here, that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Argius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. The keeper of the lake. I never really looked to see his body wrapped around. Never really paid attention to that. Whoop, don't want that. Ah, you bitch of a freaking toad. I'm just checking the delivery status for my Final Fantasy 16 sticker because it's coming in today. I did pay my Joshua Bringers today, so let's see when they are going to ship that out. Yeah.
treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet. Thou hast forgotten the face of thy Lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
That is so cool. I will never get over how cool that looks. This fight was actually changed too.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Seven children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution.
Alright. Oh, come on, don't be that way. Exactly.
I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent.
It is so sad that that Midgardstormer is really no more. I mean, technically I want to say he's dead. More like dormant in a way. By the way this is going on.
Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee. Their covenant binds me to thee.
Yep, there's the little cutie. I honestly can really picture him stretching like a cat. In that form.
I shall watch.
His wings stretching out above his back. His front and back legs stretching out on his side and stretching his neck.
Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted.
Only difference is he doesn't have the toe beans.
Beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence of mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
You may summon Midgard somewhere by selecting the corresponding entry within your minion guide under Character in the main menu. I like that we're automatically given the Midgard Sommer minion. I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions I saw? But you shouldn't waste time talking with me, Alphino. Left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stones at once. Alright, I'm gonna end it here because I'm getting a little sleepy. We can continue tomorrow. So I'll just stop here for now. Thank you, Nighty. Thank you, Valkyrie, for sticking around. Yes, you're welcome as always. I'm not gonna raid, but definitely, you know, if I stream a little longer tomorrow, we will raid someone tomorrow. But thank you guys for, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's alright, Valkyrie. But yeah, I'm gonna go. What the heck? My virus scan was scanning. But I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. Bye.